Good morning, all. So, I thought for the hell of it, I would rate the 1993 Houston Rockets and the 1993 Seattle Supersonics to play big country basketball time using the 93-94 two teams that are pretty remarkable. Of course, Houston won the championship. Seattle Supersonics, this was a brilliant team. Gary Payton, this Seattle team, I don't know how they did not win a championship with Gary Payton, Kendall Gill, Detlef Schrempf, Sean Kemp, Ricky Pierce, Sam Perkins. But Houston had Smith, Maxwell, Horry, Thorpe, and Olajuwon, Sam Cassell, Herrera, and Riley coming off the bench. I've got the matchups here. By the way, I rated them for offensive ability and defensive ability. So this is not part of the standard, but you could certainly rate your basketball players for their offensive ability and their defensive ability, and that is what I've done. So Peyton, of course, one of the greatest defensive guards in the history of basketball, is an A, and he is reducing Kenny Smith to a D. However, the shooting guard of Vernon Maxwell comes out an A+ against Kendall Gill, which is a killer. Detlef Schrempf shows up as a D against Horry, which is a killer. Power forward Sean Kemp shows up as a B+ against Thorpe. And Olajuwon in this game shows up as an A+ against Cage. So there you have it, folks. And I'm going to also introduce in this video the new instant results engine that you can use once you have a base game. I'll show how that works. These rules will be added as an addendum in a sheet. Okay, so because I'm playing traditional pro basketball, I'm using 3-minute segments, and there's 4 segments per quarter to get the scores closer to professional basketball. All right, folks, without further ado, Olajuwon and Cage about to tip off. Odd, Olajuwon wins the jump. No, it's going to be at the tip, won by Cage. So Seattle has the ball first. And Seattle here has 51. It's going to be their center. So Cage gets the ball back underneath. Cage looking at an F grade against Olajuwon is going to score 4 on F. He is going to get 5. So 5 points for Cage early in this game. The Rockets go to works. 13 is the shooting guard. The shooting guard is an A+ and 5. He's going to get 9 points. That is Maxwell getting the job done for the Houston Rockets. 64 is the center again, so they're using Cage, trying to get Olajuwon into foul trouble. And 6 for an F center. He's going to get 7+. He doesn't have a plus rating, but the starting center, Cage, they're clearly trying to get Olajuwon into foul trouble. They're feeding the ball, and he's getting Olajuwon's basically not drawing those fouls. Olajuwon in the game 3. Olajuwon is an A+. 3 on A+ is 8 for Olajuwon. But he's being outplayed right now by Cage, which is just crazy. All right, 2 segments remain for each team here. 41, power forward for the Supersonics. That is the man, Sean Kemp. Kemp's looking at B plus 5. 9 points for Kemp. Big, bad. Sean Kemp was a beast. He was an intimidating beast. 55 is point guard. This is going to be Kenny Smith on D6. That's against Gary Payton. He's going to score 8 on Gary Payton in the first. That's crazy. 14 is going to be the power forward Sean Kemp. Only 1 though on this one, B+. He is going to get 7 points. And last but not least, 16 is going to be, let's see here, 16 is power forward for the Houston Rockets. Thorpe, 2 on D is 4 points. Holy cow, folks, we got 16, 24. So it's 24 to, let's see, 14, 23, 28. 28, 24 after 1. The Supersonics at home getting the job done. All right. I guess I could put that right here. 24 to 28. All right, second quarter about to get underway. Houston Rockets get the ball, bringing it in. 42 is small forward for the Houston Rockets. That is Horry. Robert Horry, 4. Robert Horry, D4 is going to be 6 points for Robert Horry. 62 is going to be the power forward. Man, Sean Kemp, 5 on B plus is 9 points. Right now, Kemp's having a field day. 45 is going to be the center. Uh-oh. Olajuwon, 6. Olajuwon's going to score 12 points. Oh, my God. Hakeem Olajuwon gets 12. It's the highest you can possibly score. 43 is small forward. This is going to be for the Supersonics. This is Detlef Shrimp's going to get 6. Dang. Unfortunately, though, he's on a D chart against this defense. All right, Houston is going to get 34. 34 center, Akeem Olajuwon, 6. Another 12 points. Olajuwon with 24 points in the second. What the hell is going on? Cage is getting destroyed. 64 center, Cage trying to match up. He's going to score 10. Are you kidding me? The centers are cranking boards. These must be offensive rebounds and return dunks. Oh my God, 15. Shooting guard. This is the final stanza for the Rockets. Shooting guard. Vernon Maxwell, 4 on A plus is going to be 8 more points. You've got to be kidding me. And the Supersonics final stanza before the half, 55, is also shooting guard. This is Gill. Kendall Gill, 1. Oh, Kendall Gill, though, on C is going to score only 4. Holy cow. 24. Jesus, 32. 38 points. That's going to give them a total of 62 points at halftime. And we're going to get, let's see here, 17, 27, 31 points. 28 and 31 is going to be 59. It's 59 to 62. Not quite what I would have thought the Supersonics defense would manage, but Akeem Olajuwon scores 24 points. Akeem Olajuwon has 32 of these 62 in the first half. That is nuts. Absolutely crazy. Gee, many Christmas. All right, here we go. Supersonics get the ball to start the second half. 24. 24 is going to be their point guard. Point guard is Gary Payton. Oh, Gary is going to score only 4 points. They need him stopping those point guards, not scoring. 41. 41 is going to be power forward. Holy cow, power forward for the, that's Thorpe. 2 on D. He's going to score 4. So the scoring is slowed here to start. 13 is shooting guard for Seattle. 2, shooting guard C. He's going to score 5, so the scoring is slowed. I would expect that as these teams adjust. 13 is shooting guard for them as well. 4, and their shooting guard is an A plus. 4 is 8 points. By the way, that's Maxwell, Vernon Maxwell. 31 is going to be small forward. That's going to be Detlef Shrimp, 1. Damn, Detlef's going to score only 3. And 12 is the backup forward. This is Sam for the Houston Rockets. This is Herrera. He is D3. He's going to score 5 points for Herrera off the bench. And 14 is power forward. 4. This is B plus. 4 is 8 plus. He's going to score 10 points is Sean Kemp. And finally, in the last stanza, 55 is going to be point guard Kenny Smith, 3, D, 5 points for Kenny, 10, 18, 22. It's going to make it 84 to 18. Uh-oh, I think we got the exact same. Let me see. 22, if I could talk. 22 is going to be 81 to 84. It's a 3-point game going into the final period. Here we go. The 1993-94 Houston Rockets are up by 3 going into the fourth on the hometown Seattle Supersonics. Houston starts the fourth. 24. Houston, 24. It's going to see their point guard, Kenny Smith, trying to extend the lead. 5. He's looking at D. 5. He's going to score 7 points against Payton. 25. 25 is going to be the backup guard, so Payton might be in foul trouble or injured. Oh my God, the backup guard, Pierce. Pierce in this game is a C plus 6. Holy cow, he scores 9. Does Pierce off the bench, draining threes. 51 is center. Akeem Olajuwon, 2. Oh, Akeem with a pretty pedestrian 7. 24 is point guard. It's back in the game is going to be Gary Payton for only 5. The 9-minute mark. 54 is shooting guard. This is Vernon Maxwell, 3 on A+. 8 points for Vernon. I think Houston's going to win this. 55 is shooting guard. This is this is shooting guard is Gill, 2. 5 points. They're going to lose, folks. And the last minute 25 is guard off the bench for Houston is Sam Cassell, 6. Holy Christ, Sam Cassell scores B plus 6. 10 points for Sam Cassell in the final moments. 62 is power forward Sean Kemp. Oh, he only gets 1. 7 points. And that's going to wrap that up. 18, let's see here, 24, 32. My God, what a game. That's going to be 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 116 to 26. 81 and 26 is 107. So 116 to 107. The Rockets win Game 1. Holy cow, 116 to 107. Let's tally some starters here. Let's see. Let's just do the big guys. Olajuwon scored 32 at halftime, and then got another set. So Olajuwon scored 39 points. He was the high for. He was definitely the high for Houston, and the high is going to be power forward. Damn, 16, 25. 35, 42, Kemp, 42. So Olajuwon scores 39, Kemp scores 42 in a 116 to 107 game. All right, so I'm not going to tally everything though, but now just to show you. So the first game, Houston Rockets at Seattle Supersonics, 116 to 107. So the second game is also going to be the Houston Rockets at Seattle Supersonics. And it's very simple. We roll for each team. Odd, it's added to their point total. Even, it's subtracted from their point total. Wow, so down 6. They scored 110 in Game 2 to Houston. And Seattle's going to add 3. They scored 110. So this would have been an overtime game. And we're going to roll to see what they would have scored in the final stanza. Right? So in the final overtime, 65 for Houston would have been the power forward. Power forward, we're looking at power forward is D. We got to roll this. D, he's going to score 3 points. So Houston in overtime, 113 to 54. That's going to be shooting guard for the Supersonics. That is a C. Shooting guard for them is Gill. And Gill's going to score, holy cow, 9 points, so 119. So it's 1-1. The series is tied at 1-1. Seattle Supersonics win the second game, 119 to 113. Okay, continuing with the fast play, instant results rules, very simple. We're going to go now to Supersonics at Houston Rockets. We still use the base score. And we use the base score because we know the full simulation spits out accurate numbers. So we use that base score, and Seattle, again, odd, they add to their total of 107. Yep, 112. So Seattle's going to score 112. Houston is going to add 3. They're going to score 119. Look at that, folks. So 119 to 112 in game. And then Seattle Supersonics at the Houston Rockets. Seattle's going to subtract 2, so they're down to 105. And Houston is going to subtract 6. 116, they're down to 110, so they're going to win. So Houston is, I think that's it. They split. They were 1-1, and then Houston won. That made it 2-1, and then Houston won, made it 3-1. They need one more victory to seal this, and it's going to be Houston at Seattle. Houston 116 minus 4, 112 for Houston Rockets. Seattle 107, -6. 99, and the Houston Rockets win the series 4-1. Well, 112, so they would have won 116 to 107. They would have lost in overtime to Seattle 119 to 113. And then they would have lost to the Rockets 119 to 112. And then they would have lost to the Rockets 110 to 105. And then Houston in the final game on the road wins at 112 to 99. And the Rockets would advance to the World Championship in this little 93-94. So anyway, once you have a base, you use a simple rule. Odds is added to the team, evens is subtracted to the team, and you can fast sim games once you have a base idea. Now, how do you do points for that? It's very simple. So my rules for how you would do points. So for instance, we already know what the average was for the first game. So in the second game, Houston added, let's see here, Houston actually lost 6 points. And then Houston added 3 points back. So -3. You would subtract 3 from the high score of the first game. So Olajuwon in game 2 scores 36 points, right? And Seattle averaged an extra 12 points. That would be added to the lowest scoring player. So I don't know who the lowest scoring player is, but let's say it's the bench. Let's say it's the center on the bench. Those 12 points would go to the center, right? So Olajuwon would have scored 36 in the second game. But the backup center, let's say he's the lowest scorer. I don't know if he actually is. Yeah, because he didn't score. That would be Scheffler, right? So the second game, Scheffler would have scored 12 points to help his team win. And all other numbers would stay the same. In the third game, Houston actually gained 3 points. So again, we're going to add 3 points to the lowest scoring player. So whoever that's left out of these guys, let's say it's the backup forward, in that game, he would get 3 points. Seattle actually scored 5 points. You would give it to their worst scoring player. So game 3, this would be Olajuwon. Game 3, their lowest scoring player, let's say, was their backup forward. Let's say Herrera scored Riley. Let's say Riley. So in the third game, Riley, they got an extra 5. So Riley would score 5 points in the series. Okay, and then we had Houston lose 6 points. We take 6 off the high score for the third game. That would be Kemp, 42. Remove 6, so Kemp would score 36 in game 4. And Houston in game 4 went down 6. Oh no, sorry. Seattle went down 2 points, not 6 points. So that would be Sean Kemp would have scored 40 in that game. And Houston would have lost 6, so Olajuwon would have been down to 33. So Olajuwon would have also scored 30. So 39, 36, and 33 for Olajuwon. And let's see here, Houston down 4 points, 2 points. So Olajuwon in the final game would have scored 37 points. And 99 down 6, Sean Kemp would have scored 36 points. So you can just add or subtract. So you add to the lowest scoring guy from the base game. If they get more points, you don't just give it to the highest scoring guy because it just gets out of control, but you're going to give it to the guys that failed to score or were the low scorers. But if teams lose points, you're going to adjust down the top scorer, right? Because that's going to keep a guy like Kemp in his more reasonable number range. But there you have it, folks. That's the very simple rules. Again, I've got them written up in ink on paper. I just haven't typed them up yet. It's an addendum to not only for all versions of basketball time, Big Country Basketball Time, how to age your players when you create them, and then, of course, how to do instant results scores so you can get through basketball seasons quickly. And the based on a real result, though, you're going to need at least one base result, and then you could play a series of games pretty quick. But when I say base result, it's only against another team, so you don't got this is not the Houston's base result for the whole season. It's only against the Supersonics. So when Houston plays another team, you're going to have to play it out, and then, of course, anytime they play that team later, you could do a quick sim, and that'll give you a kind of an accurate Houston against that team or whatever. No, I am not going to rate NBA teams. I just did this for the hell of it this morning because I also wanted to show how you could easily give players offensive and defensive ratings in the matchup charts. It'll be your offense versus that guy's defense, and to get a offensive grade for the game. And Gary Payton in this game was a C, but he held down Kenny Smith to a D. The shooting guard, though, was an A+ for the Rockets in this game. Their center was an A+ in this game, Elijah Wan. And Kemp was a B+ in this game. And, of course, he led all scorers 42-39 in that first game. So pretty fun, pretty cool. Again, the basketball time game, if you want to have more realistic, if you want to have scores that are more commensurate with professional NBA basketball, you want to play 3-minute segments, 4 segments per game, and that's going to get you much closer to NBA averages. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great week. Bye-bye.